Duchess in Flight. A Swashbuckling Romance. By Marina Pacheco. Chapter 1. Beatrix watched, via her mirror, as her maid inserted a final pin to hold her hat in place. Behind Maria stood her ladies-in-waiting, ready to escort her to dinner. It was such a domestic scene that it was hard to believe they were under an increasingly desperate siege. "You look beautiful, Your Grace," Maria said, as she stepped back to examine her handiwork. "None will outshine you at dinner tonight." "Thank you, Maria." Beatrix examined herself gravely in the mirror, tilting her head from one side to the other. She was relieved to see that Maria was right. The sky-blue hat, set at a jaunty angle, turned her usually gray eyes blue and was indeed perfect. A fluffy white feather curled coquettishly around the brim. She adjusted a plait of her light brown hair that was artfully pinned along her hairline. Behind it, a gold net-like haube, studded with pearls, contained the rest of her hair and glimmered in the candlelight. Her skin was alabaster white. Her lips were cherry red and plump, pinched and painted to make sure they stood out. She smoothed the sleeve of her blue dress that was slashed to allow a peep of canary yellow. It gave her the courage she needed. They might be under siege, but she was dressed for the battle within. "It sounds like the bombardment has stopped," Maria said. "At least you will be able to have dinner in peace, Your Grace." Indeed. Beatrix was trying her best to look like the siege hadn't worn her nerves to shreds. "I would be happier, however, if Anders and his rabble would also leave. I don't understand why they are still here, when they ceased bombarding us 2 days ago." "Very true, Your Grace," Lady Adeline murmured. "But Anders has a vengeful nature, and he won't be stopped." "Nothing seems to stop him," Beatrix said, and the ladies-in-waiting nodded in agreement. Lady Adeline was the eldest of them, and the others followed her lead. She was protective of Beatrix, which was reassuring. Her husband, Wolfgang Edelman, Duke of Falconia, was a dangerous man. Her ladies frequently acted as a shield against him. On occasion, they'd even slept with her in her bed to protect her. She was deeply grateful to them for it. How ironic that Beatrix feared Wolfgang more than his bastard son, Anders, who'd kept them besieged in her husband's city for over a month. She had no illusions about Anders. He'd kill her and her 2 children without a moment's hesitation. He'd already killed all of Wolfgang's other legitimate children from his previous marriages, and as many of his illegitimate children as he could find. It made her 7-year-old Thomas the heir to the duchy. That might have made Beatrix proud, if it weren't for the terrible danger it put him in. "I don't understand why the people cheer him on," Lady Ariane said. She was the youngest of the ladies, blonde and pretty. Beatrix feared her husband had his eye on Ariane too. "Don't you?" Beatrix said, and regretted it instantly. Nobody ever spoke of how vile Wolfgang was. One minute he was jovial, the next he'd taken a slight and was swearing to wipe out the offender's entire family. He could stir up a crowd with his oratory and turn them into a howling mob ready to do his bidding, and he enjoyed doing it. The nobility supported him because he'd made them all rich and consolidated their power. But that wasn't loyalty, that was convenience. As his war with Anders dragged on, Beatrix could see Wolfgang's support slipping away. If she weren't married to him, and the safety of her children dependent upon